Hey, chosen one, can you feel it? Something deep inside you already knows. This full moon on June 21st isn't just another night in the sky. It's different, stronger, heavier. And maybe that's why you've been feeling a little off lately. Like you don't want to talk to anyone. Like you just want to be alone. Guess what? That's not something wrong. That's something right. You're not crazy. You're being called into isolation on purpose. This isn't punishment. This is preparation. The universe, God, your spirit guides, they are pulling you away from the noise, the fake friends, the draining people. Yes, even that narcissist who keeps popping up out of nowhere. Why? Because your breakthrough is loading, but you need to be alone to receive it. This full moon is not for everybody. It's for the chosen ones. That's you, so stay with me till the end, because in this video I'm going to show you why this isolation is your secret weapon, why the narcissist is starting to panic, and why your silence is your strongest move right now. And hey, if you've ever felt different, unseen, or misunderstood, you're not alone anymore. Join this community of other chosen ones just like you. Hit that like button to show some love and drop in the comments if you're ready to glow up in private. This journey isn't for everyone, but if you're still watching, then maybe it's for you. Let's get into it. Chosen one, this isn't loneliness. This is your divine womb space, and what's being born in you before this full moon will shock everyone who thought you were done. The full moon on June 21st is not just something pretty in the sky. It's something powerful happening in the unseen world. Most people will think it's just another phase of the moon, just a round white circle that comes and goes. But for chosen ones like you, this full moon is something far more serious. It's a spiritual activation point, a moment when your soul can be awakened to its true purpose. It's like a doorway opening for a short time, and only those who are quiet enough, still enough, and alone enough can walk through it. This gateway is not visible to the eyes, but it's strongly felt in your energy, your emotions, and even your body. Some will feel restless, some will suddenly want to be alone, some will feel tired of everything and everyone. That's not weakness. That's a sign that your spirit is getting ready to receive something big. Here's the truth. This full moon will affect everyone, but not everyone will benefit from it. For people who are caught in drama, noise, toxic relationships, and distractions, this moon will push them deeper into the same cycles. They'll keep repeating the same lessons, same heartbreaks, same confusion. But for chosen ones who answer the call to step away, to be silent, to listen inward instead of outward, this moon can launch you into your higher purpose. That's the choice. Go forward or get stuck. And that's why isolation is not a punishment. It's a sacred instruction. You're not meant to be around just anyone during this time. Your energy is sensitive. You're receiving codes, downloads, guidance that others won't understand. They might laugh, judge, or distract you, but this moment is too important. The universe is speaking in whispers, and you can't hear whispers in a loud room. You have to go where it's quiet. You have to go where it's just you and God. Only there will your spirit unlock the next step. The full moon is not just a light in the sky, it's a mirror to your soul. And this one, June 21st, will either lift you into destiny or press repeat on a life you're trying to escape. Choose wisely. Choose silence. Hey, chosen one, let's clear this up right now. You're not being left out. You're being set apart. There's a big difference. Maybe lately you felt like people are walking away from you. Friends have gone silent. Family doesn't understand you anymore. That one person you trusted, suddenly distant, and it hurts. You feel alone, forgotten. But here's the truth. You're not being rejected. You're being protected. This is divine redirection. God doesn't pull you away to punish you, and He pulls you away to prepare you, because what's coming next in your life, it's too big to carry with extra weight. You're being emptied out so you can be refilled. You're being pulled back, not to disappear, but to be launched farther than you've ever imagined. Think about it. Every powerful transformation starts in quiet places. Seeds grow underground. Butterflies transform inside dark cocoons. And chosen ones? We rise in isolation. So if you're alone right now, good. That means something sacred is happening. Your energy is being protected, your vision is being sharpened, your spirit is being upgraded. And the ones who were never meant to go with you, they're falling away, not by accident, but by divine design. Stay in your sacred space. Don't chase, don't explain, don't doubt. You're not being called. You are the fulfillment of generations of prayers, and your walk into healing and purpose is activating blessings on your bloodline. Every time you choose peace over reaction, love over fear, silence over drama, you honor those who came before you, and the archangels, they are warriors of light assigned to your life. Archangel Michael stands beside you when spiritual warfare intensifies. Archangel Raphael brings healing to your emotions. Archangel Gabriel delivers messages when you're confused. They are real, they are near, and they are waiting for your permission to fully intervene. So when you feel the weight of separation, when it feels like no one understands, pause, breathe, and remember, you are never alone. You are divinely backed. You are spiritually protected. You are surrounded by light. Loneliness is a lie the enemy uses to trick the chosen ones into forgetting their connection, but not you. Not anymore. You're waking up. You're realizing that this path is crowded, just not in the physical. It's full of celestial love, divine strategy, and supernatural guidance. So the next time you cry alone in your room, know that heaven hears it. The next time you pray with no response, know that answers are aligning. The next time you feel like giving up, remember your army. You're not walking through this fire alone. You're walking with every soul who ever believed in you, seen and unseen. So lift your head, chosen one. You've never been alone, and you never will be. You're not escaping the world, you're rebuilding it from a higher realm. This withdrawal isn't retreat, it's resurrection. When you return, you'll operate on supernatural instructions. Chosen one, let's be real. It may look like you're hiding, disappearing, disconnecting, but here's the divine truth you need to hear today. You're not escaping the world, you're being rebuilt to transform it. This season of withdrawal isn't weakness, it's not failure, it's not running away, it's resurrection. The old version of you, the one that used to shrink, explain, chase, overgive, and doubt, has been laid to rest, and now in the quiet, in the stillness, in the silence, you are being reborn. People may not understand, they'll say you're distant. Different? Too quiet? But what they don't see is that your silence is sacred. You've entered a higher realm, a place where earthly logic doesn't work anymore. You're not operating from the mind now, you're moving from the spirit. And when that happens, everything changes. You're being shown strategies not found in books. You're receiving instructions that can't be explained in words. You're tapping into a frequency that rebuilds reality from the inside out. This isn't retreat, it's realignment. You're not disconnecting from purpose. You're deepening it. You're not avoiding life. You're preparing to lead life with clarity, conviction, and divine power. The reason you've been pulled away isn't because you've lost your path. It's because you've found your assignment. But here's the thing. You can't build the new with old tools. You can't create from a wounded place. That's why God is healing you first, clearing your channel, rewiring your mind, burning away everything false so that when you return, you won't come back the same. You'll return carrying light. You'll return walking in truth. You'll return with supernatural instruction that turns chaos into clarity and fear into faith. You are being equipped to operate on a level most people can't even comprehend. And yes, it's heavy sometimes. Yes, it gets lonely. But trust this, you weren't chosen for comfort. You were chosen for impact, and impact requires depth. Depth requires separation. Separation requires surrender. Look around, the world is loud, lost, and locked in fear. But you've been called out of that noise. You're not here to fit in. You're here to shift timelines, break strongholds, and unlock destinies. That doesn't come from popularity, that comes from presence. From being so aligned with the divine that even your shadow heals what it touches. And that kind of power, that kind of clarity, it only comes through withdrawal. So don't apologize for disappearing. Don't feel guilty for needing space. You're not backing out. You're being called up. You're being filled with downloads, visions, blueprints. And when the time is right, you'll be released. Not as the same person who left, but as a spiritual architect, carrying instructions from the higher realms. You were never meant to live like the world. You were meant to remake it. So breathe, rest, go deeper, because your comeback isn't just a return, it's a resurrection. And when you rise, everything around you will shift. You can't heal in the same environment that broke you. Your isolation breaks the energetic loop. Stay gone long enough to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Chosen one, let's talk truth. The kind that breaks chains. You're not weak for walking away. You're not selfish for needing space. You're not cold for going quiet. You're doing what most people are too afraid to do. You're stepping out of the environment that wounded you so you can finally heal for real. You can't pour clean water into a dirty glass and expect it to stay pure. The same is true for your soul. You can't expect healing while staying in the same atmosphere that drained you, confused you, and convinced you to forget who you really are. That's why isolation is necessary. It's not punishment, it's protection. You see, environments carry energy, not just what you can touch, but what you feel. Maybe your family's home carried the weight of unspoken tension, judgment, control. Maybe that relationship kept you trapped in cycles of approval seeking, walking on eggshells, feeling small. Maybe that friend group clapped for your pain but went silent during your progress. That's not healing, that's delay. True healing can't happen in the same loop that broke you. That loop has to be interrupted. That cycle must be shut down. And sometimes the only way to break that energetic loop is to physically remove yourself, emotionally detach, spiritually unplug, and mentally say no more. And that's exactly what you're doing now. You're choosing solitude, not out of fear, but out of sacred necessity. Because you've realized you can't keep repeating stories that were never yours to begin with. You can't keep living out the expectations others placed on you when they didn't even know their own purpose. You've reached the point where fitting in feels fake, where being around certain people feels heavy, where pretending to be okay just to keep the peace has become too costly. And that's your confirmation. You're waking up. The mask is falling off. The illusion is breaking. And now you must remember who you were before the world told you who to be, before you were taught to dim your light to be liked, before they told you to sit still, be quiet, play small, stay safe, before trauma twisted your truth, before guilt made you second-guess your instincts. That version of you, or the real you, still exists, but you won't find them in old rooms. You won't meet them in places where you had to survive. You meet them in solitude. You meet them in quiet mornings, tearful prayers, long walks, and soul conversations with God. You meet them when you've been alone long enough to stop performing and finally become. Solitude is not empty. It's sacred. It's where the noise dies down and the real healing begins. It's where the divine can finally speak without interruption. Where you can hear your own heartbeat again. Where you don't need anyone to validate your worth because you've remembered you've always been enough. But here's the part no one tells you. The healing will feel lonely before it feels free. The full moon will confirm your next move, but only in isolation. Your clarity, elevation, and next chapter are all waiting on the other side of silence. Disconnect to download. Chosen one, if you've been feeling pulled to be alone lately, there's a reason. If the world has felt too loud, too fast, too draining, you're not imagining it. You're being called out of the noise because a divine moment of clarity is coming, and it's connected to the full moon. This isn't just another date on the calendar. The full moon is a spiritual amplifier. It doesn't just shine in the sky, it shines within your soul. It brings to light what's been hidden, illuminates your next step, and strengthens your intuition. But here's the catch. You won't hear the download if you stay connected to the chaos. This moon is bringing you answers, but only in isolation. You see, God has been trying to give you instructions. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, your higher self, they've been waiting to hand you the blueprint for your next chapter. But the frequency they're speaking on? It's quiet. It's subtle. It requires stillness. And as long as you're surrounded by noise, mental, emotional, or digital, you'll miss the whisper. That's why you feel the urge to pull back, to log off, to ghost old circles, to skip the party. It's not depression, it's preparation. This isn't the time to explain yourself, it's the time to obey. When heaven wants to upgrade your assignment, it doesn't send a crowd. It clears one. The conversations dry up. The distractions intensify. The invitations stop. And suddenly you're left with silence, because that's the portal to your next dimension. The full moon works like a mirror. It reflects truth. It reveals what's real. And it removes what can't go with you. But it can't reflect clearly if your soul is fogged up with the opinions, energy, and expectations of everyone else. This moon wants to confirm your next move, but you must disconnect so you can finally download. That means unplugging from distractions. So lift your head, let them look away, because where you're going, only light can follow. You're being rewired for crystalline consciousness. From carbon to crystalline, your DNA is shifting. This transition requires spiritual solitude to avoid interference. Chosen one, you're not just going through a spiritual awakening, you're going through a soul-level transformation. Something deeper than healing is happening. You are being rewired from the inside out. Your energy, your emotions, your cells, even your DNA are undergoing a shift. You're moving from carbon to crystalline. This isn't just poetic language, it's real. In spiritual terms, carbon-based consciousness is rooted in survival, fear, ego, and limitation. It's dense, heavy, reactive. But now your soul is evolving into something lighter, clearer, and higher. Crystalline consciousness is pure awareness, divine connection, peace beyond logic. It's a vibration that carries love without conditions and wisdom without effort. And to carry that, you must release everything that weighs you down. That's why you feel like isolating, why the world seems louder, harsher, and more overwhelming than before. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your spirit is tuning in to higher realms. And in order for this spiritual upgrade to happen smoothly, you need solitude, you need silence, you need to be disconnected from the chaos and distractions that would interfere with the transmission. Think of it like sacred surgery. When a soul is being rewired, you can't have everyone touching you, speaking into your life, projecting fear, doubt, and confusion. That's spiritual contamination. Your solitude is not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that you're in divine alignment. God is protecting your atmosphere while your soul integrates new light codes and higher intelligence. You may feel tired, emotional, even detached from your old routines and relationships. That's okay. You're not breaking down, and you're breaking open. You're making room for a frequency that can't coexist with anxiety, trauma loops, or low vibrational thinking. And yes, it feels lonely, but this kind of rebirth requires sacred space, because what you're becoming can't be explained to people who are still locked in 3D consciousness. They wouldn't understand your glow, your peace, your power, because they haven't activated their own yet. This process isn't easy, but it's divine. You're not just leveling up, you're transforming into the version of yourself that remembers who you've always been, a divine being of light, a vessel of pure wisdom, a soul here on assignment. So trust the isolation, protect your peace, rest often, drink water, pray deeply, and when the time is right, you'll emerge radiant, clear, and untouchable, walking fully in your crystalline truth. Loneliness is a lie. You're surrounded by celestial support, archangels, ancestors, divine guides. They all gather during sacred isolation. You're never really alone. Chosen one, let's set the record straight. You are not alone. Even in your quietest, most isolated moments, when the phone doesn't ring, when your inbox is dry, when people disappear, something holy is happening. What feels like abandonment is actually alignment. What feels like silence is sacred protection. And what you call loneliness, it's an illusion because you're surrounded by a spiritual army. You may not see them with your physical eyes, but make no mistake, your spirit team is present. The moment you were set apart, the moment you began your awakening, the heavens assigned you back up. Archangels stand guard around you. Ancestors walk beside you. Divine guides whisper in your soul. You've been spiritually escorted ever since you said yes to your path. And that path requires separation, not isolation. See, sacred solitude is not the same as being alone. It's the space God creates when He wants to speak directly to you. It's when the noise gets stripped away so the divine downloads can come in clearly. In this space, you start to sense things, little nudges, inner peace, warnings, signs. That's not your imagination. That's your spirit team communicating. They show up in the angel number you keep seeing. They show up in the song that plays just when you need it. They show up in the dream that leaves you crying, healing, or filled with sudden clarity. They are real, they are present, and they are assigned to you. But here's what you must understand. They can't compete with chaos when you're around the wrong people in the wrong environments or feeding your mind low vibrational content. Their voice gets drowned out. That's why isolation is necessary. It's a divine appointment where the invisible becomes undeniable, where you realize you were never doing this alone. Even your ancestors, those who carried pain, resilience, and wisdom, are proud of you. You are the one who chose to break the cycles. The one who answered this moonlight isn't just lighting up the sky, it's lighting up your soul. So be intentional, be present, be powerful, because under this moon, you're being rewritten. Chosen one, the guidance you've been asking for. The answers, the direction, the confirmation, they're already being sent. But here's the truth. Your spirit team doesn't shout, they whisper. And if you're constantly surrounded by noise, scrolling endlessly, arguing, overthinking, people-pleasing, or drowning in the world's chaos, you'll miss what's being said. Divine instructions don't come in the middle of drama. They don't show up in loud crowds or messy timelines. They come in stillness, in solitude, in silence. When your mind quiets down enough to receive, that's when the downloads drop in. That's when your spirit begins to remember what your soul already knows. But if your inner world is always busy, you're blocking the frequency. Think of it like a radio signal. Your spirit team, God, angels, ancestors, the universe, they're always broadcasting. But if your station is filled with static from stress, fear, distractions and noise, you won't hear the message clearly. That's why isolation isn't punishment, it's positioning. You're being pulled away so you can hear again, so you can realign. Stillness is your frequency booster. Every time you unplug from the noise, every time you choose prayer over panic, silence over reaction, journaling over judgment, you raise your vibration. And when you rise, so does the clarity. You may be wondering why nothing feels the same anymore. Why conversations drain you, why old habits feel wrong. It's because you're being fine-tuned. You're no longer available for distortion. You're being prepared for sacred assignments, divine instructions, supernatural direction. And those things only come when the volume of the world gets turned down. This is a time for reflection, not reaction. For fasting, not feasting. For sacred listening, not mindless scrolling. Your spirit team is trying to whisper secrets to you, but they need you to be still long enough to hear them. So if you feel the urge to pull away, do it. If you're being called into quiet, follow that call. If the noise of the world feels too loud, it's because your soul is ready for deeper sound. You are being led, step by step, into a new dimension of purpose and alignment. But you can't walk into it blindfolded by noise. You need clear vision, and that comes from silence. So honor this season of stillness. Don't resist it, embrace it, because in the silence, everything sacred is revealed. You're no longer compatible with the old world. This moon cycle makes the split official. You'll start noticing people can't look you in the eyes. Your light exposes hidden darkness. Chosen one, something is shifting, not just around you, but within you. You can feel it. The places that once felt familiar now feel foreign. The people you used to vibe with now feel distant, uncomfortable, even cold. It's not your imagination. It's the spiritual split. This full moon cycle has made it official. You are no longer compatible with the old world. You've outgrown it. Spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Your vibration has risen too high to keep blending in where you were only meant to pass through, and now the evidence is showing. You'll notice people avoiding eye contact. You'll see them get uneasy in your presence. You'll feel the room shift when you walk in. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your light exposes what they've been trying to hide. When the chosen ones heal, awaken, and rise, it becomes uncomfortable for those still stuck in illusion. Your glow becomes a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their reflection. That's why old friends fall away, why certain family members grow distant, why conversations feel forced, or why you suddenly feel invisible in rooms where you once felt seen. But don't shrink, don't dim, don't second-guess your growth. This isn't rejection, it's revelation. You're being shown who can walk with you into your next season and who can't handle your frequency. The truth is, your elevation is an eviction notice to everything that was never aligned. Understand this, your energy is sacred now. You're not called to fit in, you're called to stand out. You're not meant to stay where your soul is starving. You've been reborn, and you can't return to a version of yourself that only knew survival. You're stepping into a reality that honors your gifts, protects your peace, and reflects your purpose. So if you feel isolated, celebrate it. If the old world is crumbling, let it fall. That just means the new you is fully here. You've passed the test. The old frequency can no longer hold you. You've become too aligned to fake connections, too awake to stay asleep. This moon marks the split, the divine separation. Not to harm you, but to position you. Not to isolate you, but to upgrade. Your growth is the proof. Remember, your anointing is not for everyone, and it was never meant to be dimmed for the comfort of others. Let your light shine, even if it burns bridges, because what's ahead is far more sacred than what you've left behind. You're shedding the final layers of trauma. Isolation is helping you purge old timelines, soul ties, and karmic contracts. Let the past burn. You're stepping into the eternal you, chosen one. If you feel like everything is being stripped away, emotionally, spiritually, even physically, that's because you're shedding the final layers of trauma. This isn't just about healing anymore. This is about release, about letting go of timelines you never belonged to, about walking away from versions of yourself that were built to survive, not thrive. That deep isolation you're in right now, it's not a punishment, it's a purification. You're not lonely. You're in the sacred space where the last attachments are breaking off. Old soul ties severed, karmic loops closing, ancestral burdens being lifted. You may feel like crying for no reason, remembering things that once hurt but don't anymore. That's the purge. Your spirit is clearing space for who you really are. Trauma made you shrink. Trauma taught you to people please, to hide your gifts, to fear your own power. But now, in this silence, without distractions, without noise, you're finally facing the truth. You were never broken, you were buried, and now you're being reborn. Every tear, every memory, every emotional wave you feel right now is not weakness. It's a release. You're not going crazy, you're going clear. Let the past burn, let the old stories go, let the outdated version of you dissolve in the fire, because what's coming next is the eternal you, the real you, the one who remembers your mission, the one who no longer seeks external validation, the one who walks with divine confidence and peace, no matter what room you enter. This new you isn't shaped by trauma, it's shaped by truth. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your patterns. You are the soul who survived them all. And now you're being crowned with clarity, with power, with purpose. So if your world feels quiet right now, if it feels like no one gets you, if the old life is falling apart around you, congratulations. That means the sacred process is working. That means your cocoon is cracking open. That means you're no longer tied to the energies that kept you small. You're not here to repeat cycles, you're here to break them. You're not here to survive, you're here to ascend. This isolation is a sacred fire, and from it, the eternal you is rising. The full moon will amplify everything, so be intentional. Thoughts, energy, rituals, they'll all be magnified. Be clean, be focused, be alone. Chosen. One, the full moon isn't just a light in the sky. It's a spiritual amplifier. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever you focus on during this sacred window will be multiplied. That's why this moment isn't just important, it's critical. During this full moon, your thoughts aren't just thoughts. They are seeds. They are spells. They are frequencies being broadcast into the universe. So if you're carrying resentment, fear, anger, or confusion, guess what? The moon will magnify that. But if you're focused, grateful, centered, and intentional, the moon will magnify that instead. This is not the time to be careless, not the time to be in crowds, gossip, low vibrational drama, or toxic energy loops. Be alone, be still, be clean, protect your energy like it's gold, because under this full moon, your vibration becomes a magnet. What you align with now will chase you for the next cycle, so make sure it's something you actually want. The moon doesn't lie, it reveals. And when its light touches your spirit, everything hidden inside will rise to the surface. That's why emotions may feel heavy, that's why people are more reactive, more sensitive, more exposed. So instead of reacting, respond with silence. Don't match chaos, don't engage in anything that pulls you out of your sacred alignment. Let go of what you can't control, and double down on what you can, your energy. Use this time to cleanse your space, your body, your soul. Light a candle, say a prayer, speak out loud what you're ready to release. Journal your next chapter. Visualize the version of you you're becoming, not to impress others, but to honor your assignment. You weren't created to be ordinary. So don't move like everyone else. The full moon will either elevate you or expose you. Choose to be elevated. Choose to be conscious. Choose to be alone if necessary. Because divine downloads don't come in crowded places. They come in silence. They come in solitude. You're being upgraded. Your spirit knows it. That's why you feel pulled away. That's why you feel called inward. Don't ignore that. Don't fight it. Lean into it. Because abandoned, you're being aligned. You're being hidden in plain sight. Chosen one, have you ever felt invisible? Like you're doing all the inner work, staying faithful, healing, growing, but no one sees it? No one claps? No one celebrates you? It feels like you're in the shadows while others are being praised. But let me tell you something powerful. God hides his strongest warriors before he reveals them. Right now, you are being hidden in plain sight. It's not because you're not ready, it's because the world isn't ready for what's about to come through you. This silence you're sitting in, it's not a mistake, it's strategy. You're being set apart, not to be forgotten, but to be positioned. When a masterpiece is in progress, the artist doesn't show it to the world until it's complete. And that's what God is doing with you. He's preparing you privately for a supernatural unveiling. So don't panic if no one understands you right now. Don't be discouraged if they overlook your light, because very soon, the same people who thought you were finished will witness your transformation. And they'll be shocked. You're not lost. You're hidden. And when God reveals you, it won't just be a comeback. It'll be a divine arrival, so sit tight, stay silent, stay faithful. Because your silence is not weakness. It's the setup for something holy. The narcissist will feel it and try to come back. Chosen one. Here's something most people don't understand. Your glow up is spiritual, and narcissists can feel it before anyone else can see it. Just when you start healing, just when you begin choosing peace over chaos, just when you finally realize your worth, that's when they come crawling back. Not because they love you, not because they've changed, but because their spirit senses your breakthrough and they want to stop it. You see, narcissists are energetic vampires. They don't survive on love, they survive on control. And when you start slipping out of their grip, they panic. They feel your frequency rising, your light getting brighter, your soul breaking free, and so they return. They'll say they miss you, they'll act like they've grown, they'll pretend they care. But chosen one, don't fall for it. This isn't a reunion, it's a test to see if you've really changed or if you're still available for manipulation. Right before a quantum shift, the enemy always sends distractions dressed as comfort. Don't answer the text, don't open the door, don't explain yourself. You're not who you used to be. And that old connection can't follow you into your new life. This is your glow up season. And anyone who tried to destroy you before doesn't get a front row seat to your miracle. Chosen one. If you've been feeling distant, disconnected, or like you're floating in a strange space between who you were and who you're becoming, it's because you're in the cocoon phase. And I know it's uncomfortable. It feels lonely, confusing, maybe even a little scary. You're not who you used to be, but you're not yet sure who you're becoming. But that's the beauty of the cocoon. It's where all the real magic happens. In silence, in darkness, and without applause. It's where the caterpillar turns to mush before becoming the butterfly. And just like that caterpillar, you're not dying, you're transforming. Right now, God, the universe, your spirit team, they are rebuilding you on a cellular, emotional, and spiritual level. You're not meant to return as the same version of yourself. In fact, you're not even meant to return as human in the old sense of the word. You're becoming crystalline, vibrating higher, seeing clearer, glowing brighter. You'll think differently, feel differently, speak and walk differently. This transformation isn't just about healing wounds or breaking patterns. This is sacred alchemy. You're being upgraded to a frequency that most people can't even understand, let alone match. That's why things around you are starting to feel weird. Old friendships aren't clicking. Crowded spaces feel heavy. You crave silence more than ever. You don't want to argue. You don't want to explain yourself. You just want to be. That's because your soul is expanding beyond the old container it lived in. And the world around you? It's still used to the old you. But that version is gone, and here's the hard truth. Not everyone will recognize what's emerging from this cocoon. Some will say, you've changed. Some will pull away. Some might even attack what they don't understand. But let them. Their confusion is not your problem. They weren't meant to understand this next level. They were only part of your training for it. You see, God had to isolate you because you're no longer compatible with your past. This isn't a season of improvement. It's a season of rebirth. You're becoming more aligned, more awakened, more powerful. Your gifts are activating, your senses are sharpening, and your purpose, it's calling louder than
ever attention. So don't rush this phase. Don't fight the stillness. Don't fear the silence. You're not stuck. You're not lost. You're cocooned. And when the time comes, you'll break out. Not as a better version of your old self, but as something the world has never seen before. A divine crystalline being carrying wisdom, light, and authority that cannot be faked, copied, or contained. What's emerging from you is sacred, rare, and not everyone can go with you. But that's okay. You're not here to fit in. You're here to lead, heal, and awaken. And that begins in the cocoon. Chosen one, listen carefully. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the louder the distractions will become. And it's not random, it's not by accident. These sudden calls, texts, arguments, or unexpected drama showing up right before the full moon, they are spiritual traps, sent to pull your energy in the wrong direction. The enemy knows you're close, the shift you've been praying for, the healing you've been working on, the glow-up you've been quietly building in the dark, it's all about to show. And right before that breakthrough comes, distractions will rise like waves. Why? Because chaos is the last weapon used to stop chosen ones from stepping into alignment. You might notice people you haven't spoken to in months suddenly reaching out. You'll get weird messages, strange invitations, or find yourself being pulled into conversations you don't even want to have. Old flings, toxic friends, even random strangers might try to test your peace. Don't take the bait. This is spiritual warfare disguised as normal life. Your job? Stay hidden. This is your sacred space. This is your quiet zone. And in this window leading up to the full moon, you must protect your energy like your life depends on it, because spiritually, it does. One wrong reply, one argument, one slip back into old habits can delay what you've been manifesting for months. Remember this. Not every message needs a reply. Not every invite deserves your presence. Not every problem is yours to fix. Right now, silence is your shield. Solitude is your strength. You're not ignoring people. You're obeying divine instructions. You're not being cold, you're being called into a higher assignment. If it drains you, distracts you, or detours you from your peace, it's not from God. Protect your space, pull back, unplug. This is the moment to turn inward. Journal, pray, fast, recharge. Because the full moon is bringing intense energy that can either amplify your alignment or magnify your chaos. You get to choose. The world will try to pull you back in. Don't go. You're not who you used to be. You've grown too much, healed too far, and awakened too deeply to let a petty distraction stop your divine transformation. So stay hidden, stay focused, let the world buzz around you, and remain in your sacred silence. That's where the real power is. Chosen one, the more your light grows, the more uncomfortable it makes those who once thrived in your shadow, especially narcissists. They may not say it out loud, but they can smell your anointing. It's spiritual, it's energetic. They sense that something has shifted in you. You're not giving your power away like before. You're no longer explaining yourself, begging for love, or trying to be accepted. And that shift, that rising vibration, it terrifies them. Narcissists don't want you strong. They don't want you glowing. They want you confused, second-guessing, emotionally dependent. So now that you're healing, now that you're protecting your peace and pulling away, they feel powerless. That's why they'll suddenly show up with kindness, compliments, or chaos. One minute they miss you, the next they mock you. It's not love, it's control dressed up in disguise. Your energy is ascending and they can't reach where you're going. You're being anointed with clarity, purpose, and divine insight. And the old tricks that used to work on you, they don't work anymore. You don't fall for the guilt trips. You don't jump to explain. You don't shrink to make others comfortable. That's why they're panicking. Your freedom is their loss of control. Here's the secret most people miss. Narcissists aren't after your body, your time, or even your attention. They're after your energy field. The glow around you, the anointing you carry, the peace you've built. That's what they want to drain. That's why solitude isn't just self-care. It's spiritual protection. Right now, silence is your shield. Distance is your weapon. You are stepping into a version of yourself that can't be manipulated anymore. You see through masks. You feel the hidden agendas. And because of that, you must stay hidden for a while. Not because you're scared, but because you're being spiritually upgraded. Narcissists cannot control what they cannot reach, and they cannot dim what they cannot touch. So protect your light, guard your peace. You don't need to fight or prove anything.